Today, we're going to complete the Pokedex in Pokemon Fire Red, but we're not stopping there because we're also beating the entire story, including the endgame, which means defeating the Pokemon League twice. We're going to get one of our Pokemon to level 100, and we're going to try to catch a shiny Pokemon, but we'll see. The odds are absolutely ridiculous in this game. No items in battle. Held items are okay. Now, I'm not playing the original version of Pokemon Fire Red. I'm playing a ROM hack of Fire Red called Pokemon Fire Red Essence. This gives me the ability to catch version exclusives and allows me to evolve certain Pokemon by leveling instead of trading. But enough of the boring stuff, let's get started. So we start off in Pallet Town with nothing to our name but the potion from our item storage, and then we go to Professor Oak to get our first Pokemon, Squirtle. We beat down our rival, get some Pokeballs, then we go out and catch Pidgey, Rattata, Mankey, Spearow, Caterpie, Weedle, Kakuna, and Pikachu, all before we destroy Brock and get our first gym badge. After that, Squirtle evolves into Wartortle, and on our way to Cerulean City, we catch Jigglypuff, both Nidorans, we buy the Magikarp, and head into Mount Moon to catch Zubat, Paras, Clefairy, and Geodude. And yes, I took the Helix fossil, and we'll be able to get the other one later on. We go ahead and evolve Clefairy to Clefable, and Jigglypuff to Wigglytuff, and then head west of Cerulean to catch Ekans and Sandshrew. But our rival wants another beatdown, so we give it to him, and then head north up the Golden Bridge to catch Abra, Oddish, Metapod, and Bellsprout. After helping Bill with some questionable research, we head to Misty's gym and easily take her down, earning us our second gym badge. On our way to Vermilion City, we catch Meowth, Drowsy, and we evolve Wartortle into Blastoise. So I decide to take a cruise to celebrate, but our rival crashes the party, so I beat up his Pokemon and rub an old dude's back. After that, I catch a Dugtrio and a Diglett and head over to see Lieutenant Surge, who loses lightning fast, earning us our third gym badge. We then head through Diglett Cave to trade our Abra for Mr. Mime and get the old Amber before catching a Voltorb outside of Rock Tunnel. We catch a Machop while we're in there, and upon arriving to Lavender Town, we head west to Celadon and catch a Growlithe and Vulpix on the way. After a trip to the department store, we use Firestones to evolve Growlithe to Arcanine and Vulpix to Ninetales. Then we head west and catch Doduo. Now sadly, I forgot to press record for this next section, but here's what happened. I beat Giovanni in our first matchup, I got the Eevee, easily defeated Erica for our fourth badge, I beat our rival and caught a Ghastly in Pokemon Tower before waking up a shiny Snorlax, which I accidentally knocked out with a crit. I caught Fearow and Raticate on Cycling Road. Then I headed south from Lavender Town and caught a not shiny Snorlax, Venonat, Weepinbell, Pidgeotto, and Ditto. I beat Koga for our fifth badge and then headed into the Savari Zone to catch Nidorina, Rhyhorn, Nidorino, Execute, Parasect, Pinsir, Venomoth, Goldeen, Psyduck, and Seaking. After finally pressing record, I get lucky and catch a Chansey pretty quickly before evolving Nidorino to Nidoking, Execute to Executor, Weepinbell to Victreebel, Metapod to Butterfree, and Nidorina to Nidoqueen. I then head back into the Savari Zone, and after a while I catch a Tauros, Scyther, Kangaskhan, Poliwag, and Slowpoke. I go retrieve the Abra I left in the daycare, and after a few levels he evolves into Alakazam, and I also evolve Pikachu into Raichu. After bribing some guards, we head into Saffron City and pick up Hitmonlee for crushing the fighting dojo, and then we head to Silphco, where we beat our rival, get a Lapras, and beat Giovanni again, and before we leave the city, we take out Sabrina for our sixth badge. Forgetting to record again, I catch a Tangela just south of Pallet Town, and then head to the power plant to catch Magnemite, Magneton, Electrode, Zapdos, and Electabuzz. Next, we head to Seafoam Island and catch Tentacle, Golbat, Golduck, Seal, Dugong, Slowbro, and Articuno. And sticking with the island theme, we head over to Cinnabar, and while we're looking for the secret key in the Pokemon Mansion, we catch Coughing, Grimer, Muck, and Wheezing, and then easily take out Blaine with our overpowered Blastoise. We head to one island with Bill and head north to catch Ponyta, Machoke, Moltres, Rapidash, and Magmar. Then we head to 3 Island and catch Persian and Hypno. After a much-needed vacation, we head to Viridian City to take on Giovanni, easily winning and receiving our 8th and final gym badge. And now we can take on our rival and head through Victory Road, where we can catch Sandslash, Onix, Arbok, and Marowak. And that brings us to the Pokemon League. And with our Pokedex at 105, we head straight in and face Lorelei. And we're going to start with Zapdos and try to do as much damage to her team as we possibly can with Thunder and Thunderbolt. We're going to struggle on her Lapras just a bit, but we're going to bring out our Blastoise and he is going to clean it up after using Bite a handful of times. Cloyster will go down easily, and Jinx will go down easily as well to a couple of bites. Next up is Bruno, who is notorious for being a terrible Pokemon trainer. And we're going to use our Blastoise, take out his Onix, and switch to Zapdos. We're going to use Moltres. We're going to use all of them in this fight. Take down the Hitmonchan easily. Go to Articuno for the Machamp. He's going to go down, but we're going to use Blastoise to clean it up. Moltres will come out to take on Hitmonlee, and then Blastoise will finish off his final Onix. Time for Agatha. And my basic plan is just use Blastoise and use Bite over and over until her entire team faints. We even throw Zapdos in the mix before finishing her team off with Blastoise, who makes it look absolutely easy, using Bite over and over until her entire team faints. Next is Lance, and between Zapdos and Blastoise, he doesn't stand much of a chance. His Aerodactyl managed to knock out my Articuno, but we take revenge by sweeping the rest of his team with Blastoise using Ice Beam and knocking out both Dragonairs and his Dragonite, and makes it look easy. I guess that's what happens when you only use your starter for the whole game. But finally, we battle the champion, aka our rival. And although his team is looking pretty nice, it's just not enough to handle my Zapdos and my level 82, ridiculously overpowered and over-leveled Blastoise. We press A bunch and take out his entire team without taking any damage, defeating the Pokemon League for the first time and getting ourselves in the Hall of Fame. But now isn't the time to celebrate. We still have a lot of work to do. We start by picking up Aerodactyl from Cinnabar. We catch Primeape in Victory Road. We evolve Oddish to Gloom, and then Gloom to Vileplume, Poliwag to Poliwhirl, and then Poliwhirl to Poliwrath. And as you can see, we're going to be doing this for a while. We continue by evolving Machoke to Machamp, Geodude to Graveler, and then Graveler to Golem. We trade a Spearow for a Farfetch'd in Vermilion, and catch ourselves a Gyarados before trading a Poliwhirl for a Jinx in Cerulean. Craving seafood, I set out on a fishing expedition around the region and catch myself a Krabby, Horsey, Seadra, Kingler, Staryu, and Shelder. I immediately evolve Staryu to Starmie and reel in my biggest catch of the day, Tentacruel. Afterwards, I forgot to press record, but I retrieved the Ruby and brought it to Celio, started breeding some Pokemon at the 4 Island Daycare, saved Lorelei from Team Rocket, and was given a Kabuto and a Hitmonchan from some strangers on 6 Island. I then take down Team Rocket to get the Sapphire, while also picking up Charmander and Bulbasaur along the way. Now that we've completed the in-game story, it's time to finally complete the Pokedex. So we evolve Rhyhorn to Rhydon, Doduo to Dotrio, Pidgeotto to Pidgeot, Shelder to Cloyster, and then hatch a Cubone from an egg. I use the rest of my rare candies to get Blastoise to level 100, and then I get back to the grind, evolving Ghastly to Haunter, and then Haunter to Gengar, Bulbasaur to Ivysaur, and then Ivysaur to Venusaur, Charmander to Charmeleon, and then Charmeleon to Charizard, Dratini to Dragonair. And now that I have 3 Eevees, I can evolve one into Flareon, one into Jolteon, and the last one into Vaporeon. After that, I buy a Porygon from the game corner and then go trade a Golduck for a Lickitung before deciding to head through Cerulean Cave to catch Mewtwo with our Master Ball. And the one we catch has a modest nature, which is really good. With our Pokedex at 147, we make our final evolutions, which are Dragonair to Dragonite, Omanite to Omastar, and Kabuto to Kabutops. And with that, we complete the Pokedex, leaving us with our final challenge, defeating the Pokemon League for the 2nd time. So we take some time to level up our team, and then we head to the Indigo Plateau to take on our final challenge. First up is Lorelei, and along with leveling up her Pokemon, she also adds a Piloswine to her team. However, her effort is futile because I have a Zapdos and a Moltres who easily take out her team. Next is Bruno, and the only changes to his team are the 2 Steelix instead of 2 Onix. It won't make a difference though, because between Blastoise and Mewtwo, Bruno doesn't stand much of a chance at all. Third is Agatha, who adds a Crobat to her team. Long story short, Mewtwo takes home the MVP in this battle and sweeps her entire team, except for Misdreavus, who survives a Shadow Ball, but then is swiftly taken out with a couple of Thunderbolts. Now it's time for Lance, and I start out with Zapdos to take care of his Gyarados and his Kingdra. I try to use Articuno against his Aerodactyl, but it doesn't go too well, so I send out Zapdos, but it's just more of the same. So I finally send out Blastoise, who easily takes out the rest of Lance's team with Ice Beam. And finally, we take on our final battle of this run against the champion, who's also our rival. We start off with Zapdos, who easily knocks out Heracross with Drill Peck. Then we switch to Blastoise to take out Alakazam with Bite. We send out Dragonite to Brick Break his Tyranitar, and then we go back to Zapdos to Thunderbolt his Gyarados. Our Canine goes down to a Surf from Blastoise, and his last Pokemon Venusaur falls to a Psychic from Mewtwo. And there you have it. We defeat the Pokemon League for the 2nd time and get put into the Hall of Fame again. And just like that, our work here is done. Or is it? You see, in this ROM hack, there's a secret reward for completing the Pokedex. So let's go pick it up. First, we have to head to Celadon City to pick up a certificate of Pokedex completion, and look, it's signed by Game Freak, and we'll need that as proof in order to get our reward. With our certificate in hand, we catch a boat to Seven Island, and right next to the Poke Center stands the man we're looking for. We show him our certificate, and he gives us what we've been working so hard for, a Mew. And with that, we're finally ending the run after completing 3 of our 4 goals. Completing the Pokedex, beating the entire story, and getting one of our Pokemon to level 100. As far as catching a shiny Pokemon, I'm still pretty upset about knocking out that shiny Snorlax, so unfortunately that box is going unchecked. But anyways, wow, what a run. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more videos like this. Until next time, guys.